Right, so we're back in here. This time, I'm out of my drill. I'm going to start taking all these shelves down. I've got one here, there's a couple over there, there's one here, a big one. But also, let me just show you. It's cramped, so if you remember from the first video I showed, there's a lot of stuff just everywhere. So I'm going to have to kind of juggle a lot of this around. Probably starting with these shelving units because they take up loads of space. And then, once they're gone, I'm going to take you out here to have a look. I'm going to deconstruct that bench there, which I've already started a little bit of, just at the top off, just to see how it's fastened to this wall. Yeah, I'm going to have to take it apart, and I'm going to use that in here. So then I've got somewhere to actually do all my stuff. So I have to kind of lock this shut, because when it's windy, it kind of just creaks around in the wind. It's kind of annoying. So I think I can put you on top of my lathe here while I do a bit of deconstructing. Okay, let's see how this goes. There is so many screws. The guy who built all of this obviously had access to a lot of this wood, which is decking boards. There's decking boards just everywhere, including inside the house. I've got rid of so much of it. I've got like piles and piles of wood. So the budget for this whole project is basically nothing. But I'm going to try and reuse and salvage as much as I possibly can. So this box of cat food is actually a giant box of screws, which has come out of everything that deconstruct them, or might just take the wood off and put these into the garage space, because the frames will be alright out in the weather for a little while. Just keep the wooden tops in here, or maybe I've got a shed out there, I might put them in the shed, because I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to have these shelves in here, because they're a lot bigger than I thought they were going to be, and I want to try and have an extremely long workbench. So essentially from this end all the way down and probably across the room that way. And then I'll probably leave this space without workbench so that I can have maybe my tool cabinet, the tool chest is here. It's on wheels, so maybe I could just wheel it over here, wheel it under the workbench maybe. Not quite sure yet. Workbench is priority right now. So yeah, I think I will just deconstruct this. This lot on the pile of the rest of the wood. I've got so much wood. There's actually a giant pile of wood just down there. And then there's a shed over there, which is almost as big as this, a bit more square. I don't think I'm going to use it. It's just used as storage right now. There's always an awkward one. There we go. Then at least, while the garage roof is off, this can just be out of the way in there. I am having a new roof put on the house in the next couple of weeks, which is why the garage roof is off. Like I said in the last video, garage roof was a bit of a health hazard. It was literally falling down. So I took it down, finished it off. It's all gone in the skip now. I kept, like you saw in the other video, I kept quite a lot of the wood because not all of it was rotten. Yes, and that needed to come down anyway, so the scaffold could go up to get the house roof fixed. So once that's all done, I'm going to reinstate the garage roof and build it properly, because the other one was a little bit sketchy. The whole reason it rotted and fell apart, partly because it was very, very old, and partly because it wasn't constructed very well. Yeah, so this is nice and light now, it's just aluminium. Let's get this out. Those are off now. So all this woodwork that's already on the wall, I'm going to be keeping that there. I've took all the records off the ceiling. I'm concentrating on this side because this is where the workbench is going to be. As you can see, right there is a giant pile of wood. So some of that and some of what I was showing you in the garage is going to become the workbench. So what I need to do now is move all of my tools out of the way and go out there and see how that workbench comes apart, if at all. Okay, so as you can see, big empty space. Lovely. All the wood is now piled up here. Lots and lots and lots of wood, which is great. And now I'll take you outside so we can have a look at what I've done with the workbench. If it just pop out here, it has started raining. So hopefully we don't get too wet. But there's the workbench, and I have detached it from the wall, but I can't get these off. These great big screws. Yep. So I've had to basically unscrew it down the back, which is why it's quite wobbly. There we go. So what we need to do, excuse my camera angles, is measure how deep that is. That's 60. That is perfect. 60 by almost 300. Could be 295, but then I might need that upright. So let's just say about 300. The reason I need to know what that's at is because I need a super strong topper to go on that. So let's turn you around. Let's put you over here, like so. There we go. Hopefully that's a good angle. Right. So I said it's about 300, didn't I? Let's just shut this door. I said it's about 300. So if we go from there, on the edge of that plug. Ooh. 2.8. Ooh, it's only just going to fit in here. 2. Yep. Just going to fit over here. And then 60 is going to come out to about here. That's not bad, is it? I still have all this space, this will be gone. Yeah, so like I was saying, I need to get a really good work surface. I've got loads and loads of this decking board. Decking board's not going to be strong enough to put the mill on. So what I'm thinking is, I might double it up. I might put decking board on it and then go to the woodyard and get some like scaffolding boards. I had a little small tiny workshop at the last house which doubled up as a utility room. And it was very small. It was probably only as big as this. You know, you could put your arms out and touch either ends of the room. And I did the same thing there. I went and got some scaffolding boards, just 3 lengths, and I put some huge chunks of wood underneath it. And that was enough for the mill. The mill was fine. Because obviously, those of you who do machining will know, the stronger the base that it's on, just the better overall experience you get with actually milling. Now I won't be doing anything super technical. I only use it for tinkering and doing little side projects and stuff like that. so I don't need it to be amazingly good. I'm not doing any precision milling. And the same with the lathe as well. So I'm thinking maybe have me mill about here, just visualise right there, and then I've got my vise, so I want that somewhere sort of in the middle, and then the lathe wants to go on the end. Yeah, we're probably quite good here with a bit of stick out. So I've obviously still got this corner bench thing. I do plan on deconstructing that, getting rid of that. But I eventually want a workbench that goes from all the way over there, all the way down into this corner, and then around into that corner over there. And then I'll leave that space free and that end free for future ideas. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. And like I said in the last video, at the moment I've got the washer and dryer in here as a temporary home for them, because the kitchen in the house needs some work. I'm still working on that. There's no spaces for the washer and dryer. So the long-term plan is to eventually create a separate utility room. Yeah, so that's what we're up to. Let's see. So I said that bench is 60 centimetres wide. Is it going to fit through this tiny door? Look at this door. This door. It's so small. So that door. Oh, right. So the door is 60 centimetres, but you just know that it's not going to squeeze through that gap. So if I took, say, the edges off, we could probably squeeze 70 out of that if I unscrew that bit of woodwork. As you see, don't you just hate it when that gets stuck like that? Yeah. Whoop. Shaky cam. Right, yeah, so let's put this down here. And I've got to try and get that workbench through there, down here, and into this. I don't think this gap is going to be wide enough, so I might have to move the washer over a little bit. Yeah, okay, wish me luck. Okay, catch my breath a bit. It's in. It's a little bit rained on, but it'll dry. It's been out there for months and months and months, and it's been drying out no problem. So in here, in this nice environment, it'll be okay. I do have a dehumidifier in the shed, so I might just put that in here for a bit. So what I need to do now is level it up, get rid of this bit here because it doesn't quite reach, but that's just screwed onto the wall, so that's another shelf to go. Put the door back on, and then, like I say, get it nice and level, and then I can start looking at how I'm going to make this a nice, solid work surface. This is a good base to start from. I need to attach it to the wall. Like I say, out here, it was attached to these things. Let's have a look. It was attached to these. There we go. But unfortunately, I can't get these screws unscrewed. I've tried having a crowbar behind it, as you can see. I have had a go, but they are not for moving off. But I do have a lot of wood to work with, so let's get the spirit level out and start having a go. First problem with this is this. Yep, so even if I made this level, let's put that to there. We're looking at, it's not so bad there, but if we go across here, that needs to be quite a bit higher. So yeah, that socket is going to have to move. Also, this socket down here lines up exactly with this board, so that's going to have to move too. And then the other way this thing was designed, because it was fastened to those buttons on the wall, doesn't quite reach the wall down here. So the options are, I either shim it, which I'm not a fan of, or I deconstruct this thing and rebuild it, which might be the way it needs to go. If you have a look at this, let's put you on a wider angle. There we go. Yeah, obviously that gap is there because of this. This is a nice long piece of wood, so I can get that sort of level. Well, it's not too bad that way. Let's have a look at this way. Yep, that needs to come up quite a bit. Yeah, I would feel better if I deconstructed it, took this long piece of wood off, fastened it to the wall, and then constructed the rest of this to that. So that ends up being, as it is now, the back and the front. But all this second layer down here, there isn't a leg down there, because essentially that leg is on that wall out there, which I can't get off. Again, no centre leg, so there's a cutout there where it would have been. And obviously all of this down here has got nothing to attach to. There's no legs. There's two legs over that way because it was fastened to the end of this bench right here. So that worked for that end, but essentially I need to redo that. So I think the best course of action here now is to deconstruct this and rebuild it. There's also a break right here, right there, which has got a big dip. There was a piece of wood across this bit, but it wasn't straight, it was proper wonky. So yeah, I've pretty much convinced myself now that I'm going to deconstruct this and rebuild it properly. So what I'm going to do is measure up. I think we decided it was 300 centimetres long, so I'm going to go to the wood yard and get some wood to top this off with, something nice and strong, and then we'll rebuild this. Okay, so back from the wood yard, I've got these extra long pieces of wood. So let's have a look at the measurements. We are on, these are, I think they're about 430, no, 480. They are very long. So, and I want them to be, oh my god, come on. I want them to be about 60 wide. So if we just plonk these down, we can have a look what that's going to look like. So then we're looking at 3 in a row is about 44-ish. So I'm going to have to cut them down to make them to my 60 wide. Yeah, I'll have to do some maths. So just one on its own is about 14 and a half. But they are extra long. So let's get down here and have a look. I'm tempted to go and get one more, because the full length of that could go from maybe from here all the way to the other end. Possibly. So I think it's time to deconstruct this thing. All this wood. Yes, which I will rescue as much as that wood as I can. Okay, let's make a start on that.